So this is when it gets stunning.
Yes, I
Um,
love the nighttime photos. They're so pretty.
why, Denise? What do you think it is about the nighttime photos that just
I don't
catch?
know if it's the twinkle lights that get me every time, but you see the clouds and the contrast and the colors, and it's so romantic and serene. It's just all around inviting. Every picture you see, you're like, yes, I can see myself right there. I can have a cocktail and sit, and I was just in that pool with a pelican, chatting it up with Larry.
So Larry, tell us who took these pictures and how sophisticated was that camera?
Denise, you were there when I took these photos.
Oh, you're kidding.
Well, it was right after you left and went on to look at some
Okay.
other properties in Belize. And I walked out on the veranda about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. It wasn't very late. And I went, these clouds and this, it was a full moon night.
So
And
pretty.
I haven't seen it lit up quite like that, even in 15 years. And the combination of clouds and the full moon. So I walked out front with my phone, and I'm not going to do another advertisement here, but I walked out on with my phone and the very first time took nighttime photos with my phone. And as soon as I looked back at them, as I took each one, I went, oh my gosh, it captured it. It captured what I was looking at. So I'm so happy to see that you selected these photos to feature because I did take them, and it was just as I was strolling along the beach, I was just shooting every direction I could find because everything was just so beautifully lit up by the full moon.
And so it shows you a couple of things. The first one is you do not need a sophisticated camera. You do not need experience in nighttime photography. I was telling Larry before we got on today that I have a friend of mine who lives in Toronto, professional photographer. He and I were thinking about doing a series of webinars where we talk about here's something a travel advisor did. Dan, as a professional photographer, what would you do differently? And he said to me, he said, the beauty of photography today is that the camera in this device is so sophisticated and can take such wonderful pictures that any travel advisor going on a fam, going individually to see a property like Larry's, you can come home with pictures like this. I think Larry specifically has a really wonderful eye for composition. I think that's his landscape design experience. And you can see that in how he uses symmetry. The top right photograph on the June the 3rd is a little asymmetrical. So he's got the pier to the right of the photograph and it kind of arcs out to the left. And once you start to realize what composition does to a picture, so take the same picture from 2 or 3 different angles and then look at them. That's the beauty. You're not wasting film anymore. It's digital. And as you're on these properties, try different angles, try higher up, lower down. I do that all the time when I take walks in my own neighborhood. I will get up close to a group of flowers and then I'll pull away and I'll look at the different, and compare them to see how you can, mix and match things to make it pop. But without a doubt, the number one reason why is what Denise pointed out, the contrast. When you have contrast in a photograph, scenes come to life. If something is kind of bleeding out from a lot of light, it's not going to cause somebody to stop scrolling on their phone. But Larry, as he said, he had the contrast of the image plus the full moon lighting up the sky in the back so that you can see a lot of these objects without it darkness over darkness. The moon is shining from that far left on the pictures to the left. It's coming at us from the upper left. And as a result, we've got contrast. And as Denise said, you've also got the twinkle lights, which also now bring an additional. That's what great photography is. And it doesn't take much for you to practice and bring properties to life like this. I fell in love with all of these pictures. Here's a little bit more. And Larry, how do the travelers come to life during magic hour? Do you find that the experience of the resort for an average, guest at your property, that this is part of what they're looking forward to, or for repeat customers, they want to go back and relive these moments. How does the photography reflect the reason why someone might want to see these pictures and say, oh my goodness, book me there?
I think that the experience I have with talking with guests after they're on the property, interestingly, they actually say it's more beautiful in real life than it is in the photos.
That's unfathomable to
That
me.
is that
It's
just
true, it's
stuns me when
true.
people say that. I love hearing them say that because I mentioned to you I don't Photoshop. I don't even know how to Photoshop. I like real world photos. The most I might do is enhance the lighting a little bit if it just didn't come out quite the way I liked it. Um, Two of these photos I took, and I might crop, because I caught something in it that I really didn't intend to catch in it or something of that nature. But I think that what entices guests to come when they see photos like this is more about this is natural. This is what we brand ourselves as a natural Belize true, those kind of statements, Belize state of mind, are those are the kinds of things that come to my mind as I'm selecting the photos that we try to put people in when they're on the property. And I try to select photos that make those statements. I'm in Belize now.
Right.